The fact that we are moms and we are women, we have everything that it takes to become a boss.
What ways has being a mom boss changed you?
When I start running my own business, okay, and I start to develop certain not just skills but also characters because of the experiences we go through in business. Whenever we try to gain wisdom to pass down to our children or life lessons, right, we have to go through life in a way that's built up with many things, failures, heartaches, and everything, because that's where the wisdom comes and that's where the growth comes. So when you get out of your comfort zone and you run your business and you take some risk, okay, these are all the things not only that you're giving your children a leading example to follow, because then they will know that, hey, I cannot let anything stop me because my mom, while she raised me, she is still doing this, she's still impacting people, and that's a great role model to follow. But also I think a lot of things when I impart to my children now, I realize it came about in the last 5-7 years of business, and when you do business, you learn so much about managing people, becoming more sympathetic or empathy, and these are things you pass on your children very early on when they're developing. So when they actually really step out next time, people can tell that, wow, you're really wise for your age, and also because they got it from what you teach them. So if you have never gone beyond, you have never aimed a target, if you don't even have dreams to chase, and every day is just the same thing day in, day out, remember, your children is not learning anything from you, anything that they should learn for their growth. So as a mom, I think, especially as a young parent, you don't have enough working experience when you're 20. So I always ask myself, because as a young parent, I need to grow faster than my kids now because they're growing and I'm still growing. So I have to grow faster so that I can help them in their growth. So I think that's what changed me. And even if, let's say, at the end of it, let's say everything fails in business, but my kids grew up, they still take that lessons and wisdom I gave them during that time, and they might do something else with it and really be successful, even though I may not be. So that's important.
Well, for me, being a mom boss had changed me in terms of mindset. In the past, I associate confidence with being somebody who is all-powerful. I can do everything. But after starting my own business, I realized that, it is not a shameful thing to ask for help. And realize that once I open my mouth, things happen. And that is like the biggest takeaway, since starting my own business. And also, having this assertiveness to go out and say, okay, I'm lacking in this, so I need help to fill this gap. And for that, having the assertiveness also helps me being a mom at home, as you mentioned, right?
Yes.
So that I can say, you know what, do this, and they're like, okay, I'll just do it. I was like, oh, fantastic! I don't have to ask nicely. I just shout my command and things get done. Yay!
I've started thinking about the big picture. Because certain decisions that we make once we have employees, we are kind of impacting their lives as well and their families. So it kind of made me a better decision maker, looking at the big picture and not just making decisions for myself and making selfish decisions, I guess.
Okay, what do you think is the most important factor or criteria to become a mom boss?
So I think whether you're a boss or a mom boss, most important is to always have a positive mindset, because things will definitely fail. But if you see, for example, a mistake like a learning opportunity, a loss of contract or customer as an open door to something else, you'll be surprised when you switch the way you think. Okay, actually, you see everything as an opportunity to do even better. You go, okay, now I can, if I don't get this, I can get this. So if people are not having a positive mindset, then they will always think that any, bumps is a setback, that they're not meant for success. And that's when people quit. And people get demotivated. Oh, okay, I lost my first client, this business is not for me. So I just want to say that, even if it's a bad time, it doesn't mean it's a bad business. Okay, it's very different. Just because it's a bad time doesn't mean it's a bad life. So sometimes it calls on you that maybe it's just a break. Maybe you got too tired, so you're not producing good stuff. But always have a positive mindset for things that didn't work out as planned, because something else will come and it might be better than what you lost.
For me, I think would be to be resilient. Like no matter what the challenges may be on a daily basis, it may just be a very small struggle. Sometimes your resilience will bring you along. Like how you work around situations and just not giving up just because you are meeting an obstacle.
Well, I think the word mom boss, right, is not being given a lot of credit that it should be given. The fact that we are moms and we are women, we have everything that it takes to become a boss. Whether you're a boss at home, boss at life, at work, we are born to be a boss. That's what we are.
Everybody's the boss of their own life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's the CEO of your house. CEO of your house. I'm definitely the boss of my husband. I always say that, to my son, who's the boss at home? I say, you, right, mom? I say, yes, you got it. Now you can have Yakult. But I want to say, talking about resilient, right? Because in managing expectation, remaining positive, right? This is what I did, okay? Sometimes the things we do are really simple. Yeah. So every time my staff would call me and she says like, boss, I have bad news, and the first thing I would ask is there anything wrong with my children? Because that's your worst nightmare. So you say first, something happened to my kids. And people, no, nothing to do with your kids. It's not big anyway. What's the problem? No, the mindset shift. I say because my mindset shift. Because you get panicked. Boss, I need to text it. There's a bad news, and you just go like, is there anything happened to my family? What's horrible? Yeah. No, your kids are fine. It's nothing to do with your kids. Okay, what's the problem lah? Cannot wait lah. So that's how I got through. And then you saw because you're not stressed anymore. And then you stop. Okay, let's see what we can do. And stuff like that. Of course, if my kids is sick, I'm like, don't call me anymore. I'm off. I'm taking care of my family now. Yeah.